So I wanted to do this, Ed, because I've seen a lot of people are having issues with Apple, and I kind of know a thing or two about Apple. I'm pretty good with it. So we're going to do our tech support, and we'll do this as many times as we feel like we need to, and answer whatever questions. If anybody else has any questions or problems, see if we can come up with the answers and help everybody out. But, so right off the top, I think overall, the experience was good.
Pieter Brown. So I get home after the game, and I'm Latin time. I showed up late, so I want to watch the first half. I didn't get to see most of it. Pieter Brown, I get into Apple TV, MLS Pass, and I can't find the game.
Okay.
What do I do?
Right. So I think there's two issues here, and I want to go in order of the two issues. Let's cover the other issue first, because this one I think is an even bigger issue, so much so to where in every game, the announcers are telling you how to turn off the scores on the home pages. So when you go log in to MLS Season Pass, it automatically default shows if the game's ended or if the game's going on, it shows a score. And if you're like a lot of us and you want to watch the game late, you want to watch the game the next day, you don't want it ruined, you don't want that to be there. So let's start off there, Ed, and I'll bring up my iPad here. And if you go to, so well, first off, let's go to Apple TV. Let's go to Season Pass, and we're going to see what I'm talking about. We scroll down here all the way to the bottom. We'll see there are scores in here. I'm going to click into this Dallas game, and I can already see the score. Oh, it's ruined. I haven't even had a chance to watch it. This pisses me off.
The score, you don't even want to watch anymore.
Don't need to.
Forget about it.
You're going to go into now. If you're on an Apple product, this is how you're going to do it. But I'll also talk you through if you're not on an Apple product. But let's first start with an Apple product. You're going to go to your settings, and let's take this down. And in your settings, you could just do a search, nice and easy.
Let me interrupt there. I like your Wi-Fi, Rosa Negra.
Oh, you saw that? Yeah. Well, at least it didn't show the password.
Yeah.
That just shows you I live and breathe this team, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you go to your TV app. So you click on TV here, and you scroll, and you see where it says Show Sports Scores, and it's automatically defaults to being green. Turn that off.
Oh, nice. I'm going to do that right now.
Turn that off. You could do that on non-Apple device as well. We'll get to your questions in just a minute. Bruno, I think we just answered your question. How do I shut off seeing those scores? There you go. All right, so let's just go back to let's come back here for a second. If you are using a non-Apple device, so first off, One World, One Goal is saying the Apple TV was trash on non-Apple device, 13-minute dead air, blurry, freezing on the browser, can't use the app, couldn't hear fans, supporters, group noise, volume problems, camera too far away, choppy feed. Some of that is specifically an Inter Miami problem. But as far as you saying the Apple TV was trash on non-Apple device, I don't agree. But everybody's experience is different. I have activated the Apple TV on my Fire Stick and on my Samsung TV, right? So the smart TV. So two things that are not Apple related. The functionality is the same on both. So if you want to go in and you're on an Android device, or if you're on Fire TV, Roku, your smart TV, what have you, within the Apple TV app, there is also settings. And actually, let me see. I think I took a picture of what that might look like. And let's go back to here. And this was me taking a picture on my TV. And you can see you go into your settings. And so there's a little gear near the top right. And it's a similar setup. You just scroll down to where you see sports scores, and it is defaulting to on. Turn it off. So this is a non-Apple device. And it's similar functionality. You just got to go into the settings within the app. Now, if you're on an Apple device, it's not within the app. It's within your, Apple settings.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's that. All right. Now, Ed, to go back to your question. So now you can see no more scores. Isn't that great?
Nice.
No more scores.
Love it.
But I want to see this game, Ed. And so you had this problem, but let's go and find
the Inter Miami one. Let's
Miami. So
game,
here's how you're gonna. Here's what you
wanted to watch.
Here's what you want to do. First off, it says follow your clubs. Follow your club. Go in there, and it's basically going to ask you to. You're basically favoriting your club. So now it's at the front here, right there. Click Inter Miami. So this is called their club room. So you're going to have all the Inter Miami content in this room. You scroll to the bottom, and you will see your past match. Okay, click in that. Here is a problem with the Apple TV. This they need to improve. This big call to action button, watch recap. It looks like that is your only option.
Yep, that's what it looked like.
You can only watch a 7-minute highlight reel. That's not what I want. I want to watch the entire game again because I'm a diehard fan, and I watch the full game. I get home and I want to watch it all over again. That's just how I'm wired.
You're a diehard fan and you got there late and you want to watch the game all over.
Or that. So
in Latin time.
So here's what you're going to do, Ed. And this took me a little experimenting to figure out. You're going to scroll down. You see where it says how to watch. It also says 4 versions, small text. I don't know if you guys can all see it depending on what kind of device you're watching. But in blue, it says 4 versions. Don't click the big. If you're doing this on an Apple device, do not click the big badge. Click the blue text. You click the blue text and your options appear. You can watch the recap. You can watch it in full game replay, 90 minutes in English or in French or in Spanish.
French. Well, look at that. In Francais, you can learn about the game in French too.
Right.
Wow. Spanish.
Now, if you are on one of those non-Apple devices, like your Samsung TV or your Roku device, for that, you're going to take your remote control and you're just going to click the badge. So you would just click it actually tells you to click and hold for like 3 seconds. So you'll click and hold for 3 seconds, and then this window will pop up again.
Nice.
So one thing to bring up that I don't like. So first off, before I go any further, this should get fixed. This is way too complicated. Apple is known for being user friendly. They need to have they can leave the watch recap. That's fine. They need to put another button there that says something to the effect watch full match.
There you go.
Right?
That's what I want.
And when you click
Easy
full match,
peasy.
a pop-up should show your different language options. That needs to be easier to find. This is too difficult.
Yep.
Once you find it, it's no big deal.
Want to press that button?
Yeah. So do that. One World, One Goal says the local broadcast was good by Rongan and Chris Whittingham. The Spanish was good. Very few people knew how to find it. I did, thanks to Peter. You're welcome. So one of the things that is cool, but there's an asterisk, is you can listen to the local radio broadcast at the same time. You could turn off the announcers. And look, people did not like the female cast of announcers for the Miami game. It was 2 women. I thought they were fine, not great, but I'm also not as picky as some other people are with their announcers. But you can turn them off and listen to Rongen and Whittingham when the game is live. That's one thing I don't like and would like to see improved is if I want to watch this recap, when I click here, one of the options should be 90 minutes local broadcast, local radio, whatever you're going to call it, whatever they call it. So if I'm going to rewatch, I only have the ability so far, as of today, I only have the ability to listen to the Apple/MLS announcers that you may or may not like. So there's that. So does that answer your question, Ed?
Pieter Brown, you're my hero. Thanks to you, I'm going to be able to watch that game tonight. I'm telling my wife right now, if she's watching, sorry, honey, just go to sleep because I'm going to watch the game.
Yeah, and I've already watched it. So let's actually talk a little bit about and a little bit less tech support, but talk about the broadcast as a whole. So overall, I started off watching the Nashville game. Yeah, as I was getting ready to leave the house to go to the Miami game. That game started at 4:30. I watched some of that game. And picture quality, great. It's 1080p, awesome. Picture quality. Sound is better. It's got like nice surround sound. I don't have surround sound in my house, but it was still an improved sound within my speaker system. I liked it. It was great. Everything was good. No problems on their first broadcast that I really saw. Our broadcast, on the other hand,
Quack, quack.
Well, lots of audio problems. So much so in the beginning, you've got the lead announcers going, my microphone isn't working. I can hear something. Can they hear me? And, it was a mess. The main camera that you watch majority of the game, quality was terrible. So I don't know what's the problem there. And this is a funny story, Ed, that is just pure coincidence. But I'm walking my dog the other day, and the neighbor 2 houses down from me, he's wearing a Miami Dolphins shirt. And I always tease him. He loves the Dolphins. I tease him that he needs to wear pink. And he told me his company was at the stadium all last week putting in new wiring for 1080p. I guess that's what his company does. And I want to have another talk with him because I'm like, hey, maybe you guys need to go back out there because it wasn't very good. But he was contracted. His company was contracted to do the work. So, there's the. But I will give them some. I would give them a break, Ed, because Apple and MLS MLS had to launch a TV network.
Right.
And while they did 2 preseason games, filmed them, I watched them. They came out pretty good. Every stadium is basically its own studio, if you think about it. And some games sounded. I watched the Philadelphia game. It was great. You heard the crowd noise was good. That was one of the things One World was complaining about, the crowd noise. You couldn't really hear it well. The microphones were not working great at the Inter Miami game. Everything sounded good in the Philadelphia game. You could hear the ball hit. One of my favorite things is on a big game when you can hear the players kicking the ball, like the microphones are down on the field. That's right. A cool sound. You had that in Philadelphia, not here in Miami.
Right. They need to follow what Philadelphia did. So
there's some improvements, and I've heard from other broadcasts around the country there were some errors, some mistakes, and things like that. So the other issue I have, Ed, with this replay is okay. Hang on, before we go there, let's go back. Bruno is correct here. He's saying our main midfield camera is way off too. Colors were washed out and overexposed. Exactly. Our pink shirt in the main camera looked white. But then they would do close-up shots with one of their other cameras. It looked great. So They have a problem with the main camera or the connection with the main camera. Something's wrong there. So So with the replays though, Apple is producing, and when I say Apple's producing, I think MLS is producing this stuff, but they're doing pregame, halftime, and postgame in-studio shows for every game. I want to see those. You're not going to see them on the replays. They're not there.
Oh, that's a problem.
You're just seeing the raw feed, basically, with the announcers. You know, even like if there's a commercial break at halftime, not that I want to see the commercial break, but you're not going to see anything. You're just going to look at the field. It's just a live camera feed. That's it.
Yeah, they need to do some editing or whatever they need to do, and make it look as like it's the real game, because that's what people want.
Yeah.
You know?
So there's definitely
if you
some
don't want
more.
to see if you don't want to see the halftime show, or the halftime, whatever recap or whatever, just press forward and go.
Yeah, I want to see the in studio stuff. They put a lot of work into it. I want to hear their thoughts and opinions. That's part of the experience of the game. You know. So speaking of in studio, Ed, I got a feeling you did not also get to see the MLS 360.
I started watching a little bit because it started early, and since I was leaving late, I was able to watch a little bit of it.
So the MLS, for those that don't know, the MLS 360 is a wraparound show. It's the red zone for the NFL fans, and I got home, since I live closer. I got home fairly quick, and one of the things you can do. This is neat, though. This is a neat function. If a game or a show has already started and it's live, it does give you the option to continue right from live with the show or start from the beginning. So just because I had no intention of watching the whole show, but I did want to see, how this production was. And the 360 show, there, it was pretty cool. The biggest issue is, and I might have a photo of this somewhere. The biggest issue was the fact that here, let me see.
Were in front of the video, or was that what it was? Because that's one of the things I was like, wait a second, they're watching the game. They're in front of me. There you go. That's what I was going to say. They were in front of you.
This is a weird shot.
Game. Yeah.
This is a weird shot. And I found this on Twitter. I didn't take it. This is a weird shot.
Kaylin was standing for how long with those heels? That must have.
Hey, God bless her, man. God bless her. That's a strong, some strong legs, right? Staying up on those heels. They did get to sit. But this, I think they're just trying to show off the fact that they got this cool video wall, and it was a cool video wall. But it is weird watching them. Their backs to the camera. This is a weird shot. Get rid of it.
Right. Or show it for a second and then go to the game.
You could just show it for exactly, like a second, and then just show the highlights as they're talking over it, voicing over. So that would have been better. Overall, this is a good show, but I don't know how often I would really watch it, because I want to actually watch the full game of the team that I'm interested in. If, for example, Inter Miami did not play that week, if they had a bye week, for example, I'd probably watch this. And get highlights in all the games. Overall, it's good. They need to improve. Set looks amazing. They have chairs also.
Peter, I got home like, I don't know, an hour later after the game. Well, maybe 2 hours later, to tell you the truth. And the thing was still on because it was live. I went to see if it was live. It was still going on.
These people are in that studio for like 5 hours doing this thing. I think it started around 7 or something like that. And then there's the West Coast game. So it's going to end, around midnight, maybe?
Right. That's what I was saying, man. These guys were standing for a long time. And the guys had it easy because they have sneakers on.
Yes, they do. Kaylin was very proud of her outfit, though. She kept talking about how she looked so good and that she had a cape. And she thought she was, basically like a badass for the fact that she had a cape. I mean, she did look good. So but it was kind of funny because she was just, flexing that how good she looked. Like, I look good.
Definitely, she's definitely a superwoman for dealing with so many hours standing. If that's what they did, stand the whole time. That's a feat right there. But Yeah, Peter. I mean, that was one thing that I was impressed about. But like you said, if they could just show the the game, show, yeah, it's okay to show them. Yes, they're standing there or whatever. It's a cool view, but we want to see what was happening in the background.
Steven Munoz, he says he liked the 360 show, thought it was great, still had people complaining. Yeah, here's the thing is people are paying for something, and so since they're paying for it, they're not going to be maybe as gracious as we are. I'm pointing out problems, but at the end of the day, I loved it. It was great. I'm happy we have it. It's better than what we had before, and it's only going to get better. This is just launching something, and MLS even acknowledged that I saw a Twitter thing from MLS Communication Twitter handle saying that we know it's not going to go off perfect, but this is still like a monumental step for the league, launching their own TV network, basically. They're having to pay for the production side of this. Everybody keeps talking about Apple this, Apple that. Really, this is MLS. Apple has given them the money and the technology.
Do it.
Right. But MLS is producing this. They've hired IMG to help with that, but they're the ones that are producing this.
Wow. It's a lot of work, and I think they're going to be able to iron out a lot of these problems. As we go on, they've got the whole season ahead of them. Considering that they've created such a so many, we're gonna see so many games, and there's so much that's going to be happening in the future. I think they've done very well. They just got to iron some things out, and I think we've got a good product.
So I think One World, One Goal, who's generally a very positive person, is coming at Apple a little bit. Apple deal can be spectacular. Just do the work to set it up before you launch it! Exclamation, exclamation. She's yelling this, Ed. And here's where I would disagree a little bit. I think they did as much as they can, right? They had to launch this thing quickly. And how do you really work out all the kinks unless they did filmed every single preseason game? And that could have done that, I guess. They could have filmed every single preseason game and kept it just either make it live or keep it, to a test group, where we couldn't see it, just a test group could see it. I guess they could have done that. But otherwise, how do you know if it's all going to work perfectly without just doing it? Sometimes you kind of just got to do it. So I think we got to give them a little slack, although I do get the fact that people are like, look, I'm paying for this, and this is crap. So that's how some people feel. Some people, first off, are not happy that they have to pay for it. And I keep making this argument that
a refund. Right.
I keep saying that it's $100 a year, right? If you're not a season ticket holder. And most people, that is less than one night out with a family. You will spend more taking your family out to dinner or taking your family out to a movie than the price of that. So you just take away one family event and you've paid for this app. Everybody talks ESPN Plus. They liked it better, what have you. It's, I think, $120 a year. Now you get some more stuff.
And if you're a T-Mobile user, you can get it for free. So, if you got T-Mobile to get it, you'll get it for free. I think it's a good deal. Right.
Steve Munoz paid $79. I'm guessing you're an Apple TV Plus subscriber already. Esteban Dido says the Apple TV deal is one that will take our football league to the next level, which ESPN was not committed in doing. And if some dinosaurs must be sacrificed in order to do so, then so be it. Look, at the end of the day, people don't like change. This is change. Give it time. It's going to be good. Let's see how it goes next week before we trash it. People did not like the announcers. We'll probably have different announcers next week, and hopefully the audio and the imagery will be fixed on the Miami game, because again, they were better in other stadiums. Right. So,
but yeah, give them another month, guys. I mean, you guys are, if whoever's already in and paid for it, you've got a month before you already got the subscription. Don't cancel just yet. Give them a chance, and hopefully they'll fix it.
Steve Munoz says ESPN mistreated MLS. I don't care how much cheaper it was. There you go. All right, I think
I think we're good on that one. Well, for more troubleshooting, put some comments down there. Ask Pieter Brown because he's the expert on anything Apple. Just ask away. He fixed my problem. Now I'm gonna go watch that the game, the whole darn tootin' game. I'm gonna watch, and thanks to Pieter Brown and his expertise.